Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into some really powerful ideas from the book Dive into Deep Learning. And believe me, it's a major challenge to how we think about school in today's world. So let's just start with a really big question, one the book poses right at the beginning. Are our schools actually preparing kids for the world they're walking into? I mean, for today, let alone tomorrow. And when you look at the data, well, it suggests we've got a pretty serious problem on our hands. Okay, so take a look at this. It's a pretty worrying story. A Gallup poll found that in 5th grade, a solid 76% of students feel engaged in school. They're into it. But then, fast forward to 10th grade, and that number just collapses. It plummets to 32%. Think about that. In just 5 short years, we lose almost half of our engaged students. Where does that passion go? And it's not just that kids are tuning out. This drop in engagement is happening at the exact same time as a huge spike in mental health issues. We're seeing stress and anxiety on the rise, and it's hitting younger and younger kids. So the old model, it isn't just failing to keep them interested, it might actually be making things worse. So, with all this urgency, educators have been desperately looking for a new way forward. And that brings us to the central idea of the book, a new approach called deep learning. So what is deep learning? Well, at its core, it's about quality learning that actually sticks with you for life. The stuff you don't forget after the test. But here's the crucial part. This is not another new program or some quick fix to slap on top of the old system. It's a total reculturing, a fundamental rethink of the entire learning process for students, teachers, parents, everyone. The whole movement really has this mantra, engage the world, change the world. I mean, that says it all, right? The idea is that learning isn't just something that happens inside 4 walls. It's supposed to be an active force that has a real impact out in the world. And what this does is it totally shifts the focus. The goal isn't just about acing tests anymore. It's about helping students become good at learning, yes, but also good at life. It's a whole new mission for education. Okay, so that's the big idea, the philosophy behind it. But what does it actually look like day to day? Let's break it down into 2 parts, the what and the how of deep learning. All right, first, the what. This is all about what students actually learn. And it's boiled down to these 6 global competencies, or as they're called, the 6 C's. Think of these as the skills and qualities that really matter, the new bottom line for learning. First up is character. This is all about learning how to learn, having grit and perseverance and acting with real empathy and integrity. Then you've got citizenship. This is about thinking bigger, having a global perspective, and feeling a real commitment to taking on the big challenges facing people and the planet. Next is collaboration. And we're not just talking about any old group project here. This is about learning how to really work together as a team with all the communication and cultural skills that requires. Then there's communication. Pretty straightforward, right? It's about being able to craft a message for a certain audience and make sure it has a real impact. The 5th C is a big one, creativity. This is about more than just being artistic. It's about asking the right questions, coming up with new ideas, and then actually turning those ideas into action. And finally, number 6 is critical thinking. This is so crucial today, right? It's about sifting through information, making smart connections, and building real, meaningful knowledge for yourself. So, if those 6 C's are what we're aiming for, how do we get there? Well, that's the how. It comes down to 4 elements of learning design. You can think of this as the toolkit that teachers and students use to make it all happen. And when you put it side by side like this, you really see what a fundamental shift this is. I mean, look at the traditional column. Teacher-driven, all about transmitting what's already known, basically compliance. Now look at the deep learning column. It's student-led, it's about real-world problem solving, and the student is the one actually building the knowledge. It's a completely different universe. Okay, let's pull all these threads together. Why does this matter so much right now? Why isn't this just some nice idea, but something we urgently need? Well, because the stakes are just incredibly high. This isn't just about making school a little more fun. No way. This is about fostering students and their teachers to unlock their potential so they can solve the huge, complex problems we're all facing, today and in the future. And let's be absolutely clear about this. This can't be some little pilot program or another bolt-on initiative. This is about a complete and total rethinking of the entire learning process from the ground up. The book really ends with this incredibly powerful call to action. It basically says,
Now is the time to transform learning. Our students desperately need it, and the world needs it to survive and thrive. I mean, it doesn't get much more urgent than that.
So that leaves us with this one last big question to think about. What if? What if learning was really designed to change the world? What would that look like? For our schools, for our communities, for our future?